welcome everybody to the Zap hosting community MA session. Our first one, in fact. Today we've got Tabara from TX Admin, if you would like to say hi.
Hey there.
Today we'll be answering any questions that the community may have for Tabara, and we'll be focusing on the questions that were originally posted in the thread for the AMA questions. But if you at any point have any new questions you would like to ask, don't forget that you can type it in the stage chat, and we'll either answer it on the spot right after if it's to do with the conversation, or we can answer it at the end for you guys. Anyway, I think a good place to start would be with someone's question. One of our Discord members, James, asked, what is TX Admin? And I think that would be a good place to start to explore what it actually is for those that may not know. So I'll give it over to Tabara.
Yeah, thanks. And by the way, I renamed myself to Tabby, and I mean Tabara, but since I'm using the name Tabby more or less as a joke, but it caught on for some time, so I just renamed myself here. All right, so what is TX Admin? Well, it's not exactly just like a web page where you go to start and stop your server or ban players. I see TX Admin as like the interface or the means of interaction you have with FX Server. It is a tool for admins. It's not for players. Many people asked me to introduce some features that are, I don't know, more close to vMenu than to an admin tool, but we keep it closer to an admin tool as possible. And of course, since it is not just a web panel, it's the means of interaction with FX Server, it goes beyond what we have just in the interface right now. It is like a very good way for you to learn how to use your FX Server.
Yeah, I agree. It's a very, very good system. I mean, I personally use it. I know a lot of people that use it. Gets frequent updates, is excellent overall. In fact, as I'm posting, we have our own TX Admin version of the FiveM game server, which you may enjoy as well. And this is what we'll be giving away today as well.
Nice.
Going forward, the next question from Skippo, what motivated him to start working on the TX Admin in the first place?
What motivated? Before that, just because people asked, the number of servers running TX Admin kind of varies. So I think Minecraft got the closest one, but it does fluctuate a lot since it is about 70-something% of all FiveM of all FiveM servers. It varies across the day or across the week by literally the number of people running FiveM servers. So it can fluctuate from almost 21,000 to as low as 18,000. It is a normal variation. All right, so motivation. Basically, this will surprise a lot of people, but when I created TX Admin, I was actually not a FiveM player. I had just left my job in 2019. Yes, in 2019, I decided to get myself like, yo, I'm just gonna play games for 1 week and have fun and whatever. I can think about jobs some time after that. And then a friend, like an internet friend that I knew for very, very long, randomly he pinged me and said, yo, can you help me make this FiveM server thing? He knew that I created Counter-Strike servers long time ago, so he just pinged me, and I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. So he gifted me the GTA game. I didn't even have that, and I just created the server for him. I read the documentation and a few a few chats on Discord, and I created the server for him. But he was a complete newbie, so he didn't even know how to restart the server when the server crashed, or I don't know, he needed to restart to apply new, I don't know, new framework changes. So I created a simple page. It was like literally a one-page thing, just with the button to start and stop resources and to restart the server, and that was it. There was no like big inspiration, just a friend that didn't know how to, on CMD press arrow up to select the last command and press enter. It was that simple, and he was having a hard time doing that, so I created the tool.
That is very interesting. Nothing that I would ever expect, to be fair. I'm sure a lot of people never expected that either.
Yeah, it was wild. It was actually just, surprisingly enough, like 200, 300 lines of JavaScript, and maybe, I don't know, 200 lines of HTML, and that was it. That was text admin entirely. Well, I guess FX admin back then.
I see. Once you made that, when did you decide to continue developing it? Once you saw a lot of people using it, or?
It was more like, I was a developer for, I don't know, back then I was already a developer for like 10 years, and I literally didn't have a single nice thing to show on my GitHub profile. So I thought, you know what, I can spend a little bit more time, like maybe a few weeks, making this FX admin thing kind of cool, just for me to have anything on my GitHub. That's why I did it a little bit more time. But why I kept going, that's kind of, I don't know. I like the community. I like chatting with people that were using TextAdmin, and I loved tracking the number of servers and seeing the number grow. Each day a new server joined, and the number went up a little bit. That was what kept me going.
Yeah, especially now, it's kind of crazy how many servers it's in.
Yeah, and I kind of lost track of how many people were using TextAdmin, because tracking servers in FiveM is kind of not trivial. It used to be really easy, and then it became really complicated, really fast. The system that I wrote to track it kind of broke, and I couldn't put more time to fixing it, so I just kept, I kind of lost track of how many servers were using it, until some time ago, where I wrote text tracker to actually track all the servers.
Very interesting. Thanks for that. By the way, make sure to head over to the giveaways channel to put your entry in for one of the servers that we're giving away. We'll be giving away the other two later on in the AMA. But thanks for that. It's a very insightful, very interesting story that you have in regard to TXAdmin. The next question from Invalid Zap. How long did it take you to develop TXAdmin?
Well, I mean, I'm still to this day I'm developing it, so we can count it 3+ years. But the first version, that one image that Manfred posted above, that was probably like one afternoon, maybe. But as I said, it's a work in progress for absolutely sure.
Yeah, no, there's so much changes that have happened with TXAdmin over the past few years. To the fact that it's even integrated in the FiveM now, in the FX servers, which is insane.
Yeah, true.
Okay, let's head along to the next question. Adib23704 asked, why is the name TXAdmin?
Well, it's a good question, because in the other image you saw, it was named FX Server before, right?
Yep.
I named it FX Server because it's an obvious name. If the server is FX Server, FX admin is just the perfect name. But this didn't fly very well with some some FiveM developers. They did not like that the name was really close to FX server. People might confuse it as an official thing. So they told me to, can you like change the name or whatever? And if you see right now in the FiveM terms of service, there is like a specific term saying that you cannot name your project something like FX admin. You need to make sure the name does not allude to something official. And that rule was created because of me, because they didn't like FX admin. But in the end, it all worked. We're now very close to the FiveM team, the SFX team. But we didn't change the name back to FX admin, so it kept going just as text admin. So where the name come from? That might surprise some, but it has the T and X has no particular meaning. When we got like the ultimatum from the FiveM team that we had to rename, I just created a channel in my Discord server asking people for name ideas, and then we did like a vote. I wanted something else, something completely different, and someone suggested text admin, which is just replacing the F for an T for Tabby or Tabara.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking actually.
Yeah, and people voted for it, so I guess democracy. They decided it. But since T is for Tabara, I decided to lowercase it. Before it was FX uppercase, and then I lowercased it because I know having my name, the letter of my name being uppercase in the name of the project felt kind of a bit how can I say, I don't know, pretentious. I don't know, I didn't like the idea, so I lowered it.
We can head over to the next question. A user asked, why did you choose FiveM, not a game like Minecraft? Well, I think you kind of answered that in a sense before.
Yeah. I mean, I never played Minecraft before. To this day, I never played Minecraft, so I don't know. Don't need to raise your pitchforks, but
you're a bit like you're a bit like Regalmo. He doesn't play Minecraft either, and I was kind of shocked.
I mean, I need to play it sometime just to see the actual appeal of it. I know you can be like very creative and you can do many mods, but I don't know. So can you in GTA,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good point.
Not that they both give you the same experience, of course not, but I don't know. Maybe one day, right?
Yeah, maybe one day. Okay, let's keep going with the questions, I guess. Eraser asks, will TX admin also be available for RedM?
Ooh, RedM. So here's the thing. Liberty M, Red M, FiveM, they all run over FX server. They are all just running on literally the same software. The difference is when you start the server, you have to specify like the game name, and if you specify the game name RDR3, which is like the executable for Red Dead Redemption, it will start a RedM server. So TextAdmin already works for RedM with some issues, because since I up until now I didn't even have RedM. I didn't have like space on my SSDs for RedM.
Yeah, thanks for Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, I never tested it on RedM. So if you go on the in-game menu, a lot of things will just not work and throw errors. But TextAdmin, like as a platform, as the web interface, that will work perfectly.
Oh, interesting. So basically it works It just should work, but you've never
Yeah.
really looked into it specifically.
Yeah, just the menu stuff. Like what when you go to the menu and you go to the option to spawn a car. Yeah, that will not work in
Yeah,
Red
of
Dead.
course. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. It's Francis is Cooley. What's your background in coding and did you start TX admin?
Yes, I did start TextAdmin, and my background in coding is, well, I'm kind of old timer. I started coding in Visual Basic 6. That is a very old time thing.
Yeah.
And then went to PHP and stayed in PHP for many years. And only in 2018, so 1 year before I started TextAdmin, that I touched Node.js for the first time. And right now, TextAdmin is fully written in Node.js, in JavaScript and TypeScript. And the in-game stuff, or the server research part, is written a little bit in Lua and React, but I am not very good in React, so I had help doing the menu for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. The next question, not really related to TX admin, but what's your favorite game and why?
Oh, sorry, I flew to another question. What's my favorite game?
Yeah, just what's your favorite game?
Oh yes. Right now I don't play much. If anything, I'm playing a little bit of the new Call of Duty, just because I don't know, it's fast paced. But my favorite game of all time can't be anything else other than Counter-Strike, for sure. Just like on Counter-Strike Source, the one before CSGO, I had over 10,000 hours played. I used to make so many servers, so many maps, so many scripts. I put a lot of time in that game. And even in CSGO, I reached the global elite level rank a few times. So yeah,
Nice.
I don't love Counter-Strike, but man, I did play that.
I'm pretty awful at not Call of Duty, CS:GO, like silver level. So don't ever play with me if you decide to.
I mean, I haven't been a good CSGO player in long time. Last few times I played, I ended up in Gold Novas, like Gold Nova 4, 5. No, I don't think even there's a 5. I don't know. But I am definitely not a great player anymore.
Yep. How about chat? What's the chat? What's your favorite game at the moment, if there is anything? Personally, my favorite game, I think, in a long time was God of War Ragnarok. I can't say enough how good it was. It's a story game, of course, but it was excellent. What about everyone else in chat?
Old time RPGs.
Yeah, the new one, it was released a few months ago. But
the new one.
The new one was excellent. The God of War Ragnarok. It was just like, I've never seen such a feature-packed game. It was incredible.
I was thinking the old one, the one like from the years.
Oh no, the old ones were excellent, of
2000s.
course. Yeah, the old ones were excellent as well. The original God of Wars. But this one was just, modern graphics, modern features.
No. I'm talking about Ragnarok, the MMO game, MMO RPG, the one like literally from 2008. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never played that, to be fair with you, but I see what you mean. It must be something else.
Yeah, it was big back then.
What's the chat said? Sons of the Forest. Yes, I agree. It's a very good game. Very unoptimized, but it's very fun. Although I'm kind of sad that they removed the bug where the tree logs would fly into the sky if you hit them into the water. Kind of sad. It was a fun bug. Anyway, we can move on to the next question. Adib asks again, do you know GTA San Andreas multiplayer? If yes, any plans for TX admin-ish thing for that?
San Andreas multiplayer. I've heard of that. I never played it, and honestly, TX right now is so intrinsically connected to FX server that unlikely it will ever be a thing for something that's not FX server.
Yeah, I assume that would be a completely different thing. It's a bit like saying do it for Minecraft. You have to change so much things.
Yeah, and also kind of San Andreas multiplayer, probably not many servers out there. I don't know if it would be like worth putting a lot of time in it, you know.
Yeah, I think it's quite a low amount of servers, but like Regalma says, it's nostalgic for a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, next question. Is there a common thing that people do wrong or set up wrong with TX admin that makes you quite annoyed, and what is it?
You know, I don't get annoyed at people making mistakes because, you know, people don't necessarily need to know everything about Windows and Linux and whatever to run a server. But so I tend not to get annoyed at people. I'm more annoyed like at situations, especially like YouTubers that make tutorials that are completely wrong.
Yeah.
For quite some time, there was one specific German YouTuber that created like a tutorial on how to create a FiveM server, and in one of the files that he published, there was like a stop monitor command, which literally just kills TextAdmin. Monitor is the TextAdmin script, so yeah, that was kind of annoying, but that led me to write a tool to validate the entire config file, this FG file for FX server. So right now, if there is like a stop monitor, TextAdmin will automatically, I'm just gonna comment this out because that's completely wrong, you know. So I don't get really annoyed at people committing mistakes, more like people making tutorials teaching wrong stuff, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Misinformation is kind of hard to deal with. I think don't you have a page on FiveM docs as well for TXAdmin nowadays as well?
Yes, but I think it's probably outdated.
Most likely.
But there isn't much stuff there. It's basically just a page saying, yeah, this is TextAdmin, those are the features, and that's kind of it. TextAdmin, it kind of relies a lot on the support we give on Discord.
Yeah, I know, of course, yeah. The TXAdmin Discord's very popular.
Yeah.
And fun to talk with, of course, in the off-topic chat.
Uh-huh.
You can see me there frequently as well. Let's see, what's the next question? Jack asks, how long did it take you to finish the first stable release of TXAdmin? So I think it's the same question as before, but the original version.
The first stable, I would consider the first stable as being the version 1.0, which I think was the first version that had like admin action log, I think, and it probably took like 1 month to release it. And back then, when we went from 0. whatever to .1, it was that moment where we renamed it to TextAdmin.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks for answering that. Let's see the next question. Cool Kid 2042. I think that's meant to be a play on Battlefield because it's 2042. But anyways, what's the recommended amount of dedicated RAM I should have to a server? I don't think that's really relevant, but
no, that's a mean question. But I will. Well, I'm gonna answer anyways. It mega depends on actually mostly on streamed assets your server will have. So if your server has lots of clothes and cars and obviously custom clothes and custom cars and custom maps, all this data needs to stay in memory to serve for new players when they connect. So that will eat your server RAM really fast. And of course, research. If a research has a memory leak, which is like an issue where it doesn't clean the required memory often or at all, it grows very fast. So it will super depend. If you wanna have like a very clean server without no clothes and custom cars, you can run a server with like 2 GB of RAM, but it can go as high as 16 GB. I've seen more.
Yeah, well, 1 second. Quickly go into giveaway channel for the second server giveaway. It ends in 2 minutes, I think, or 1 minute. So be quick. I think most of people entered already, but just to let you know. Yeah, that's a good explanation. To be fair, streaming is pretty intensive. He also asked the second question: what's your favorite feature you implemented into TX admin?
Ooh, favorite feature.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, isn't there? Because you code everything, so everything must be good.
I mean, I hate a lot of stuff in TextAdmin. Favorite feature. Good question. I don't know the answer. I really don't know the answer.
That's fair enough. I think there's a lot of features. I think the menu in-game Fiverr menu is excellent. That's one of my favorite updates. I think it's just so useful.
I'm inclined more to the whitelist feature. Recently, we completely rewrote how whitelist system worked, and we added like Discord whitelist things, and I think it works pretty well. I really like it.
Yeah, I think I think everything. Most of the things are just excellent.
Plus, you've got I have an answer. The top feature for sure is the server deployer. For sure. It's something that only new servers will likely use, but the ability for you to click a single button and deploy like the latest, the most updated like ESX server in 60 seconds, it's huge. It's huge. Whoever set up an ESX server from scratch, like just reading the docs without downloading any pre-pack, knows that it is an absolute nightmare. And TextAdmin made that simple for everyone.
Yeah, especially the recipes and stuff like that are just so good now.
Yeah,
they work just beautiful, straight up, straight in, and it works.
Yeah,
I think that's a good answer. Another question from Zero: what is the future plan for TX admin? I think that's a very broad question. Maybe a future feature that you think will be good.
Man, there are so many things, so many to-dos. I want to have like a multi-server. I want TextAdmin to be able to handle multiple servers. I want a resource updater, so you can see all your resources, which one are outdated or not, and like a simple click of button, and you will be able to update it. That's cool.
That would be so. That is actually pretty sick. Would be so excellent.
Yeah, there is something that I don't particularly like that much, but has been asked so many times that I finally gave up, and I will do fairly soon, which is the admin action log in Discord. Excuse the thunder sounds in the background.
That's okay. No problem.
Oh, the server insights page. We will have like a page in TextAdmin where you can have like insights on your server, like HTTP requests and the streamed assets you have, which ones are heavier and are like weighting your server down. Man, so many things, so many things. And API for TextAdmin, so other resources can, for instance, ban a player using the TextAdmin API. There's so many things that will be done.
Yeah, it's you've done so much already, and there's yet so much to come as well, which is very interesting. Sure. That's most of the questions that were posted before, but I've noticed there are a few more that were posted. If you would want to, we can go through those as well.
Sure.
So CC8 asks, how does a day in your life look like?
Kinda a mess, and unstructured mess. I want to get like a good routine going, but it's not that easy. But most of my day is doing text admin stuff or doing support in the text admin chat. Oh, excuse it again. Sorry.
No problem. Yeah. You are very active. Like honestly, I don't think I've ever seen someone that active in supporting people. So if you ever have a problem, make sure to head over to TX Admin Discord or just to chat as well. They've got some good people in there.
Yeah.
Next question, Adib again. Which server was the first one to use TX Admin officially? I mean, I assume the test server, right? I mean, you can't really give away stuff like that, I assume.
That one friend, he had a server, the one that had issues restarting his server. He was the first one.
Yes.
But he gave up on having a FiveM server really fast, and that's kind of weird because back then his server was reaching 32 players constantly, and he still gave up. Well, I guess he's lost because that was back when FiveM was really small, so he could have grew a lot. But that was that server. I don't remember which was the second one, but on the top 100 servers, I remember distinctively there was like a big server from Hong Kong, and I used it to monitor the number of servers. If you remember, back in 2019, the start of 2019 or middle, there was like it's not a revolution, but a lot of protests in Hong Kong. And I remember that when that happened, all the Hong Kong servers disappeared. People were not playing FiveM. They just went to the streets to protest.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, that would make sense. What about there's still a few more questions of the community I've had. ASHPR asks, how long did it take to officially release out of development stage?
I would say that 1 month. The from the first release to V1, I would say 1 month.
Interesting. Yeah, that's pretty quick to be fair.
Yeah,
but I guess you said that you were mostly focused on development, so it would make sense.
Sorry, I didn't hear a thing.
It's okay. Yeah, we're aware of the giveaway. It's being worked on, don't worry. 1 second. Next question, it's Yusef. Why did you start the project? That's already been answered, I guess, but maybe you want to just quickly make a summary in case they weren't listening.
Yeah, just because a friend was not able to restart the server when it crashed, so I created text admin for him.
Yep, there you go. That's a good summary. Next question. How many people are developing it besides you?
Me, myself, and I.
Yep, fantastic answer.
We do have a GitHub page where people do pull requests, and it's especially translation pull requests. That's lovely, and it is a big help. And sometimes I have like Tazo and Goat or some other text admin Discord active member help me with a thing or two. But it's basically just me.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. You did this all yourself, mostly.
Yeah, except the menu. The menu, I had a massive help of Tazo, Goat, and Chip.
Yeah, shout out to them, I guess. Knight asks, Tabara, are you planning on starting any other projects for CFX?
I don't see why not. I'm not planning on anything, but I don't see why not. We work really closely with them.
Yeah, I can assume, especially with the integration, it must be very tight. Next question, DKDen7E asks, do you plan on adding tokens to ban and or maybe external database support for bans? He also said thank you for your work. I wasn't a very early bird, but I've used it for several large servers, and it's been a very useful tool. And I'm glad to see how it's grown and improved to keep it up.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we do plan on adding token bans. The issue with token bans is that it kind of depends. If there's like only about 5 tokens per player, we can add that to the database, and that will not weight down the database a lot. But if there are like 20 tokens for servers, and there aren't small servers with like 500 bands, those will not feel any difference. But we do have servers with like 400,000 players in their database, and
That is
checking
crazy.
out of the bans. Oh, sorry, we even have like thousands and thousands of bans in some servers. So checking the tokens plus the identifiers for every single player that is connecting to the server, that can cause massive performance impact. So it's easy to text admin, but it is not something that I can do without studying really carefully the performance impact.
Yep, that makes sense. Thanks for answering that. Mostafa03 asks, will you support another game on future or only FiveM? We kind of touched on that earlier, I guess.
Yeah.
Basically, he said that he's mainly focusing on FiveM just because of the fact that you'd have to rewrite everything for anything else.
Yeah, I mean, if FX Server adds support for another game, I don't know, maybe GTA 6 when it launches. Yeah, sure, absolutely. Why not?
Okay, next question. Ali A. How old are you? Oh, I don't think this is kind of such question, but he asks, how old are you and where are you from, with all respect, and how did you learn English? Don't have to answer it, but you could if you wish.
I'm in my well, I'm 30 years old. I learned English mostly coding. I always had like an English class in my school, but I didn't learn it until I started trying to learn programming, which is, I mean, you either learn English or you don't learn programming, or at least that was the reality back then. And sorry, and what was the third question?
No, that was it. It was, how old are you, where are you from, and how did you learn English?
If you heard the thunder, I'm just going to say I live in the world's capital of lightnings. If you can Google that.
Casey asks, if you had to remove one feature, what would it be?
Well,
I guess he's aiming for features that you don't like, or something that you don't exactly like, or something.
Here's the thing: I do remove features out of TextAdmin. Even in our documentation, we have like the feature graveyard, because I don't like code that is not worth having. Every single line of code that is in TextAdmin is a code that will need to be like migrated somewhere or keep being maintained and bug free forever. So if it's something that it's not being used, I will remove it. We use it to have like custom commands for the Discord bot, and I absolutely removed that because it's not worth it. People are not using it enough for me to keep the code, so I just remove the code.
Yeah, no, that absolutely makes sense. Remove any redundant things. This is, I think, the last one as of right now. Kartov LS Salat, sorry if I butchered your name. Are you planning to make IP bans and maybe also hardware bans? And he said, keep up the job. We all love TXAdmin. Best invention ever made. Heart emoji.
Oh, thank you.
I think this was discussed in chat.
Hardware ban, yes. And IP bans, I was super against it because it has lots of like collateral effects, and it's really easy to bypass. But maybe I'm not big time into IP bans, but maybe.
Okay, I think that's generally all of the questions that the community have asked. I guess this is your last chance to ask any more questions if someone does before we slowly close off. Make sure to post it into the stage chat so we can see it easily. Someone asked, is there a possibility to make two TX admin server ban lists sync across them?
Yes, that's very complicated, and the answer right now is inside TextAdmin, no. But we do have a few big servers that are doing that in their own way. They wrote some code to synchronize bans, but it's not part of TextAdmin. It's not something that I can do for now. That's unfortunate, but we have plans to have like an external database, external like embed database. You don't need to use like MySQL or MariaDB or whatever, but that's for the future. We will not be able to do that for at least a few more months.
Okay, that's a good answer. Thank you. Cora asks, Nai asks, are you open for collaborations?
I'm up for collaborations. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Cora, do you work every day on TXAdmin or just when you have the motivation? Let's start with that. Yeah, that's the first part.
I kind of work every day. I like working on Sundays and Saturdays since I don't have much of like a outside the house social life. But yeah, when I'm out of motivation, I try to do some things that don't require motivation. So especially support and I don't know, updating the documentation and whatever.
Right, that's interesting to know. They also asked, Cora also asked, are you working only on TXAdmin or do you have a real job which you work beside creating TXAdmin?
No, I am only working on TextAdmin. I used to work on cybersecurity, but I left a few months ago.
Oh, cybersecurity, that was interesting, I bet.
Yeah.
Mustafa03 asks again, if someone offered you money, are you going to sell TXAdmin or no, and why?
Hey, if you have like a big stack of money, I could think of, but I doubt. I actually doubt.
Okay, it's Yusuf asked, did you make a profit out of TXAdmin? You don't really have to answer that, but if you wish.
Well, TextAdmin is an open source project. We can
that's what I assumed. That. Yeah. Reading up, I think that's all of the questions. This is like your last chance to ask if anyone has a question. Several people are typing. Let's see if there's any more. Erase asked, do you like cheese balls?
Cheese balls. Those are like the fried cheese balls, like mozzarella cheese balls.
I can assume that's what he means. Or he means that.
Yeah, they are kind of fine. I mean, they are oily as hell, but
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I love them though. I love mozzarella. It's so good.
It's tasty.
Cora asks him, what do you think about Zap hosting Tabby?
Oh, they are our partner, right? We didn't have to partner, but we partnered. Okay,
this will be the last question by night. What motivates you mostly to continue this project?
Oh, that's complicated. But it's many things. I can't pinpoint one thing. I love the community. I love seeing the project grow. And I hate seeing old code that I did parts of TextAdmin that are not good, and that really motivates me to improve it. And right now, if nobody notices it, we're not doing many updates for TextAdmin. We were supposed to do like one every 2 weeks, and we're not doing that. That's because I'm doing more like backend stuff, which is like improving the code to be able to do all those future things that I said. So right now, I'm working on rewriting the console utility for TextAdmin. Next up, I'm going to rewrite how internally the settings work, and then sorry, and that will allow us for like have, for instance, multi-server support. For all those things, we need to have like an improved backend, and that's one thing with TextAdmin. It started with 300 lines of code. It didn't start as a code that is meant to be running 20,000 FiveM servers. It started really simple. So we didn't increase the number of servers while also making the code perfect. We did as well as we had to do. So improving from 300 lines of JavaScript to over 30,000, it's a lot of code to improve, and a lot of code that was written when we had one mentality, and now we have a completely different mentality.
Yeah, I see what you mean there. I think we'll keep off at that. Maybe after we close this off, Tabby could look at the chat and answer any questions in chat, just so we can close off, because I'm sure that he's tired from talking, as it's been an hour. We originally planned for this to be like 30 minutes, but it's been almost an hour.
Yeah.
Thanks
Also,
for the questions, everyone.
By the way, my DMs are actually always open. I never blocked DMs. I just, of course, don't like support DMs. If you have any support question, please ask in the support channels. But my DMs in general are open for non-support questions. That's fine by me.
That's good to know. Okay, well, I guess we'll close this off. Of course, we'll close off some Zap coins posted in chat.
Can I just answer one more?
Yeah, sure.
Leiko asked, do you ever plan to convert TextAdmin to only TypeScript? And yes, I want to convert it out to TypeScript, but it will take quite a lot of time. I'm converting files slowly because the way it was designed, it's really not type safe, and TypeScript hates when your code is not type safe. So I am converting everything to TypeScript, but it will take some time.
And I guess we'll close off here. And like I said, maybe Tabby, if he has time, he might look over your questions and answer in text. We'll keep this channel open for like another 10 minutes maybe. And this marks the end. Thank you everyone for attending and actively engaging with this event. We're very happy that people enjoyed this, and it means the world to us. Of course, massive thank you to Tabara for taking this opportunity to talk with us and answer all of these questions. Yeah, we really appreciate it. And of course, don't forget to check out TXAdmin for your FiveM game servers on our website, or just generally, and also check out his Discord, which Regalmo linked in the chat, because they chill in there and it's very fun in there as well. As usual, I assume there'll be probably an after party and a voice chat somewhere, so hop in that if you wish to talk as well. But anyway, we're closing off, and thank you for listening, everyone, and thank you, Tabara.
Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Zap, and thank you everyone that joined, of course.